What record is that?
It is a Coquelliot Asleep in the Poppies, a variety of whimsical verse.
Yeah.
By Montreal.
Is it for rolling joints?
Mainly. It's also a very good album, though.
Hell yeah. I peeped the little record player up there.
Yes. I love vinyls.
Yeah. I feel like they're making a fucking, almost like a comeback right now.
Definitely.
You can get them at Walmart.
Since I was like 16, probably.
Yeah.
I started out, I just got them at record stores. Wait, should we start and then talk about things?
It's whatever. We rolling right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Should we introduce everyone?
We can. Welcome to the Off-Road Podcast. Man, I'm in Portland right now, Oregon. It's still like, the city's still here, hasn't burnt down, as some other country may think. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting here with Carver and Evan. You know what I'm saying? Carver is a videographer.
That's me.
Evan is a recording artist and a clothing brand owner.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys for doing this with me, man.
Yeah,
I feel like this
course,
is
bro.
wild.
Thanks for coming all the way out here.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Portland has been cool, you know what I'm saying, so far. I feel like it's been kind of dead. Like, the place we went, he was like, it's not really the weekend yet, so that's why. But I feel like everywhere we drove is, like, kind of dead.
It is a little dead out here in general, I feel like, but it definitely would be better on the weekend if you went out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, like, Portland's it's a city, but it's not, like, it doesn't have the same energy as, like New York or L.A. or something like that.
It's pretty laid back.
Yeah. And, like the clubs and stuff just aren't really the same. It's just kind of more like, it's just kind of like more mellow, I guess. And like on the weekends it still gets lit, but it's just like you have to go to like one of the nightclubs or whatever, and you're paying like a fat ass cover and whatever. Whereas like in LA or New York or whatever, like there's just like poppin' ass bars that are like more like underground that you can go in there. There's like a sick ass DJ performing and whatever. Like over here, it's just kind of everybody in there like sipping drinks and chilling.
I feel like the general population here is like more relaxed too. So it's
sipping
like,
IPAs and smoking too much bud.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys want to start with like the Portland like music scene? Y'all fuck with anybody from around here as far as like creative shit goes?
I fuck with a few people around here to make music. And I don't want
well, not even just music, just like
Portland in general.
Creative in general, you know what I'm saying?
There's a good creative scene in Portland. I don't know. I ain't been here very long. Probably, I've lived in Portland for 7 months, but I lived in Eugene for like 2 years before that, which is like 2 hours south of here.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Most of my clientele is still Seattle, LA, and then like southern cities like Memphis, Atlanta, shit like that.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's just like I don't know. There's not much going around out here. Like the artists that do make music and have money, I feel like are older, and on like a different tip than I'm on. And the artists that are younger and making music that I would like work with, usually aren't really like putting much money into things like music videos and shit.
Yeah, no, I feel that there's a lot of people that like make music in Portland that like there's not that many people that are like throwing shows all the time and stuff. Like I feel like that's why a lot of people like once they start getting something going, they like move to LA or like they'll go up to Seattle or whatever. Just because it not that there's not opportunities out here. Like there's definitely like you can, no matter where you're at, you can make that shit work. But I feel like in Portland, it's just, I don't know. It's just a different scene.
Yeah. What was you guys' thought like when you moved out here to like, you know what I'm saying? To connect with people?
My first thought when I moved out here was like, is it gonna rain this fucking much the whole time I'm here?
Speaking of the rain,
and it did. It did rain that much the whole time I was fucking here, and I'm.
Yeah, speaking of the rain, we just shot a video, and the original concept was we thought it was in the rain, so we fucking made an idea with the rain. It didn't rain, but it was vibe though.
Yeah, it didn't rain. That's surprising.
When you guys were shooting the music video, you thought it was gonna be raining in the video?
He wanted it to rain.
Yeah, before I came, it was like I checked the weather, and it was like it's gonna rain every day.
It's so bipolar over here. Like 1 week it'll be raining every single day, and then like days like today, it's like completely clear skies in the middle of December, and I don't know.
Oh, we got Doodle in the building, man.
This is my cat.
Yo, this boy's cat. Oh, I didn't even tell you. This boy's cat literally tried to commit suicide the other day. Like the window was open, and he was like trying to jump out the window.
He be doing that. He climbs all the way to the top of it.
Yeah.
I gotta pull him down.
Bro,
I think the reality of it is he really just want to go outside, man.
Yeah, you probably got some big booty stitches out there.
I haven't taken him outside yet.
He's never been outside.
Nah, not yet, bro. I need to get him like a
He was
leash to
he was
take him
conceived
out.
in here.
No. I mean,
Since
he's
you
been
brought him?
outside, but
Yeah.
I got him as like a little ass kitten. So like I don't even know if he remembers being outside. You know what I mean? But
Hell yeah, man.
yeah, I need to take him out there. He need a leash.
He the executive producer tonight. You know what I'm saying?
He the homie.
But no, man, it's been a vibe though. It's like a peaceful city. I feel like we had an opportunity last night. Where was it last night we talked to that guy, or was it 2 nights ago? The guy that was down at the rallies and shit.
Oh yeah, when we were over at the bar. That
Yeah.
was 2 nights ago.
Yeah, you were there too.
Yeah.
So that was like, it was just like it was an experience for me just to see from somebody firsthand, like that was there, because I've been seeing the shit on Twitter and
Yeah.
on the news and shit. I mean, I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
Yeah, I had just kind of mentioned like talking about like my experience down there, like when we were all just sitting at the table, and I was just talking about how like even if you were there like being peaceful, like you still were like caught in the crossfire. Like me and my girlfriend were down there like kind of like in the back of the crowd, just like with signs and stuff, just like peacefully protesting and like just like trying to like show support for like all of our homies and whatever. And the dude at the table next to us, he was like, oh, we got gas masks, like we were down there in the front lines and stuff. And so it was crazy to talk to him too, because like even though like I was there, like I definitely wasn't like as involved as like some people. Like that dude was down there like getting shot with rubber bullets and whatever. Like
They say he was passing out food and
Using
shit.
the real of it.
Yeah.
Now, it's just crazy to me how something like, even just generally, like something can happen, and like it's easy to focus on one side of it, and like, but it's like always two sides to some shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like you see, there might be like a narrative painted on the news or in everything you've seen, but it's different when you actually talk to like the real people that were there and like
Yeah.
see how people feel about it.
It was
Yeah.
so funny having like our families were calling us and shit like, oh, like are you good? Like is there
Yeah.
like
I had the
like
same
people
type of
getting
calls.
shot outside your apartment, like whatever, like, and I'm like, man, like don't believe everything you see on the news. That's all I
Exactly.
know.
See,
It's
even-
like you don't
yeah.
even really know what to say to them. You just don't believe the news. You know? Like,
Yeah.
Even me, like you pretty much from like what you could tell from the other parts of the country is it seemed like it was like all of Portland, and from what like you guys were saying and that guy was saying, it was like a couple blocks type shit.
It was just like down on the waterfront, like down like like around the Justice Center. Is like the like main area that it was. Like I live like a couple blocks away from there, and like over there, like there wasn't there would be like sometimes like people walking down the street or whatever with signs, but like nothing like right next to my like apartment was like getting like destroyed and stuff, because like there definitely were areas that were getting like windows broken and stuff, but I don't know, that shit, it is what it is. They had to like some sort like get their message across some sort of way,
Exactly.
because otherwise it wouldn't have gotten all the coverage that it did.
Exactly.
That was definitely a wild time, just like
Something had to be done.
in America. Did you design that hoodie?
Yeah, this was actually like one of the first pieces that I made.
Yeah.
I bought my sewing machine like probably like a year ago, and oh shit, my bad, bro. Yeah, I bought my sewing machine like a year ago, and before that, I was just kind of like customizing little shit. Like I would like get a pair of pants and like put patches on it, or like get shirts and like distress them and whatever, and then eventually I was like, man, like there's just not much more I could do with that, like, and I wanted to make my own things, because I've always been into fashion, just like wearing stuff that other people wouldn't usually wear, and like so I was like, I'm gonna get a sewing machine, and like I just like at first I was just grabbing like random stuff around my apartment, old clothes that I didn't wear and stuff, and just like what could I do to this to make it to where it was something that I would actually fuck with. And like this was like an old Thrasher long sleeve, and like I just like cut it into the spider web pattern. And it took me hella long to like sew around all these little squares and shit. But yeah, no. And then from there, it was just like, I started sewing shit for a while, and then I went to screen printing, and then like.
You got your own like machine, screen printing machine?
Like everything's like DIY. So like I made like a printing press like out of like it's like wood board.
Where you made a printing press?
Yeah. And so like it was just like it's like a board like with like a stand on the bottom, and then I like attached hinges to it, and then the screen goes on the hinges, and then like I made like a little like adjuster for like the it's called off contact. Like you want to make sure your screen's like a little bit above the garment. So like I basically made like the whole thing you would normally pay like $700, like $500 for a single head press, and like I made it all for like $35 or something like that. And like I print all my own stuff. Like me and the homie Daniel, we have a studio over at his crib.
Is screen printing the one with the heat? Is that what screen printing is?
So at the end of it, you do heat it up. Like the way that it works though is like, so you get like just a big mesh screen, and like it's just like see-through mesh, and then you coat it in emulsion, which is like basically this like liquid like plasticky type stuff that like coats the screen, and then you get your design and you put it on a transparency. You get like a transparent piece of paper and you print your design onto it, like just on like a regular printer. And then you lay that over the screen, and you put a light over it, and it burns the design into the screen, and you wash it out, and then you're just left with a stencil. And so then like you put your garment underneath it, and the ink goes on the screen, and you just like squeegee it through. You have like this like rubber squeegee, and you just like push it through. So it's basically like a stencil. Like if you imagine like getting a piece of paper and like cutting a smiley face out of it and like laying it on the ground and spray painting it, and then taking the piece of paper off, you're gonna be left with the smiley face.
Yeah. So that's the one that's like when you're finished, it's you can't feel the difference from that in the shirt. You know what I'm saying? Because there's the ones with the graphics where you can like feel the difference.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You can feel it a little bit. There's like definitely like a little bit of a texture, but it's if you get a good screen print, like it should be inlaid into the shirt to where like if you're going over, maybe you feel like a little bit more of like a rubbery sensation, but like it's like not like on top of the print, like as like just a vinyl like press on or some shit like that.
Got you. We can jump around a little bit. You guys wanna? Yeah, we could just jump in a little bit. Like we can start with you, bro, if you want. Just kind of like coming up a little bit and like childhood life and ultimately how you got into fucking doing videography.
Coming up, I'm from a little town in Arkansas. I'm not gonna give the name because they don't deserve the credit. About 9,000 population, about 8,950 ignorant motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And we hope you see this.
Yeah. So I lived there until I was 18, and then 19. So I graduated high school. I worked at a packaging factory.
Yeah.
And I had worked at a gas station. Worked at the packaging factory after that. Worked at a gas station, and I had this dude that I went to the high school with the year before. I guess he knew I had taken like a Photoshop class. So you passed that back then? He knew I knew how to use Photoshop.
Yeah.
And he rapped, so he asked me to make his cover art. His name was Lil Arrow. Shout out Lil Arrow.
Shout out Arrow.
He got me into this shit, I guess. If you want to bring it down to that. But
he was one of the 59 ignorant ones.
I made his cover art, and then after I made his cover art, this dude from the town over, he hit me up and was like, "Yo, I saw you make this cover art. Can you make me a music video?" And I was like, "Sure, but I don't have a camera." And he was like, "I got a camera." And then I shot him a music video like the next week.
You remember what kind of camera it was?
A Canon Rebel T6, I believe.
That's crazy because I had that same camera. I sold it now, but I had that. But yeah, my bad.
Not great, like 1080, 24p.
Yeah, like regular basic shit.
Yeah, it's definitely like a photography camera first. But, yeah, he ended up going by like Woods or Death. I worked with him for a really long time, like the whole time that I lived out there. Got pretty close and shit with all their group, and like We ended up we put one on this channel Trash Gang. We got like 64K off of that one, and that's really what started getting me like.
Whose channel is that?
It's just like a music video promotion channel
To
on
Trash Gang?
Like from Arkansas
Trash
or?
Gang.
Oh, Trash Gang?
No, it's like I think they're honestly out of Russia, but they have like by now they have like a few million or some shit.
Those are bots. That's a bot blog.
It's kind of like a underground world star for like more underground music.
I'll show you real quick.
Nah, but did you guys see, just on a side note, fucking somebody was talking about, so you know all these like groups on like Facebook and like on social media, like all the progressive groups like that, like somebody was saying like all these fucking groups that are like, it was like, I think they're saying like 90% of the Facebook groups and like all these different like movements and shit, the accounts are run by bots. So it's literally bots from like Russia and different countries that like their main goal is to infiltrate our like social networks and get us arguing. So they'll just act like they're one of us, and their bots would just post like, you know what I'm saying, like rude shit and just get shit to people, make people start arguing.
Yeah, I could.
This is it right here. Oh, they got 4.2 million subscribers.
Yeah, but back in the day they probably had around 1 million or something.
Yeah.
And we got this shit on there because homie got connected with the owner. And then after that, I hit up this dude that lived in the area. His name's Live Sosa.
Yeah.
I still work with him now. Just asked him if I could like edit his videos. Pretty much, I was still 19, or I was 18 at this time probably, and so yeah, I started editing for him. Started making more money off of that, and then I moved to Eugene with some people, and then I moved to Portland. I've just been doing videos since, really.
So all this started, well, your creative like journey started after high school.
Yeah, I mean, I was into all this shit, but I didn't really start doing it until after high school. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like literally a couple months after.
Hell yeah. What did your parents do like coming up like for work and shit?
My dad is a carpenter.
Okay.
Like construction. My mom is like she cuts hair.
Yeah. Hell yeah. What about you, bro? I know you said you were from the TriState area, right? Which I still don't know what state is that? Tri-Cities.
Yeah,
what
so
state is that?
it's in Washington. It's Pasco, Kennewick, and Richland.
Okay.
And it's like 3 hours away from Portland, like 3 hours east of here. And it's just like, it's kind of like a farming town, but there's also like some bit like Hanford is over there, like which is like a big like nuclear plant, and like that's like where they made like bombs and shit. So like there's like a bunch of like, that's like half the people work at Hanford and like half the people work out on the
all y'all
farms.
infected with radiation.
Yeah, facts. That's why everybody's so fucked up over there for sure.
Yeah, a lighter. Yeah.
Got to like out there in like the Hanford site, they've found like two-headed deer out there and shit that like.
Oh, I was just playing, but y'all really got a problem out there now.
Yeah, no, it like actually is like kind of fucked up, and the river runs right next to it, so there's always like shit like saying that there's like shit spilling into the river and whatever.
So y'all ain't swimming in the river out there.
Everybody still does. Like that's like literally like all.
How you see a two-headed deer come out the river and you're like, yeah, let me go jump in that shit.
Yeah, I don't know, bro.
How did I miss you said there was a two-headed deer?
Bro, like
from the fucking.
No cat?
Out in like the like Hanford radiation area, like there's like been like sightings of like some crazy ass animals out there that were like all like fucked up from the radiation.
It's fucking Fallout 4.
Yeah, no, that's just pretty fucking crazy. But it's just like a small town, and like I grew up over there, and then like once I graduated high school, like literally like a week after high school, my cousins, they're both like involved in the music industry, and like one of them was tour managing this band American Authors at the time, and like he knew that I was like into music. Like I was like just like freestyling in the car and shit, like fucking around like in high school, and like he knew that I was into it and whatever. And so like as soon as I graduated, he was like, hey, like I need an assistant tour manager, like are you down to come be a part of it? And I was like, well, duh. And so I went out on Warped Tour in 2017 with American Authors.
Is that the Vans tour?
The
right?
Vans Warped Tour, yeah. It's like a hardcore tour. And like American Authors, they're like a indie pop band. So it's like, it was a funny thing for them to be on that tour, but it was super cool. Like that shit just like opened my eyes, because I had been like in the Tri-Cities my whole life and hadn't seen like, I'd like been like on like trips down to California and whatever, like when I was younger, but like we went all over the United States. So it was just like,
How many dates y'all think y'all did for that?
it was like 3 months.
Wow.
Or like 2 months or 2.5 months or something like that.
Yeah. So what did you do as a assistant tour manager? Like, what was your job?
I was basically like, first thing in the morning, like I would wake up, me and the homie Dylan that was doing merch, we would get up at like 7 and like do load in. And so like we'd go and like grab all the merch off of our truck and take it down and set it up. And then like from there, like I would go over and like pick up the band food and like bring it back to the bus. And then if the band had press or whatever, like I would like go collect everybody, be like, hey, everybody needs to get over here and whatever, and just like whatever they needed me to do. If I needed to run to Guitar Center because we needed cables or picks or drumsticks or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was just running around like doing whatever, just like helping out my cousin and the band with whatever they needed.
Yeah. Guitar Center tried to get me one time, bro. Like, I just bought my new interface. Y'all know you heard like the one knob interface?
Yeah.
Like the silver shit?
The Apollo?
Yeah, Apollo. Yeah, Apollo Twin or whatever. Bro, I went to Guitar Center to buy one. And I went to buy a brand new one. So they give me the shit, and I'm like, yo, can I try it out before I buy it? They're like, yeah. Long story short, this shit, they tried to sell me a used one as a brand new one, and the used one didn't even work. So I just left. I got it like off. Matter of fact, I got it off Sweeterware. This shit right here. But yeah, they tried to get me, man. We only have like one Guitar Center around my way. So it's like, you know. And I think they actually, bro, they're closing shit down around my way too. I don't know how it is like around here, but like since the pandemic, like a lot of physical stores are closing. Fucking the Apple store closed.
Just going to
like
online.
Yeah, a few things closed.
See, like Apple stores, I don't know if y'all seen, Apple also just announced some shit where now they're gonna allow people to repair their own phones. Like they'll have kits and you can repair your own phone without voiding the warranty. So they're just like they're like scaling back all like physical locations and shit. Like, I don't know. Where's the shit lead to?
That's crazy. There's no way I would be able to figure that shit out though. That's all I know.
That's cool for people to know how to do that though.
Yeah. We could jump around a little bit, bro. So I know you said you kind of have like a vision to like, so you like shoot other people's videos, but you kind of have this vision to create your like own brand with this shit. And I know you even touched on like doing fucking movies and like short films and shit like that. Like,
yeah.
What's the inspiration behind that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Any thoughts on that?
I've done like a couple of short films lately. I mean, they're not even considered short films. They're like short films, like 3 minutes. But yeah, I want to do more short films in the future, probably once I get out to LA in like March. Just because there's like actors, actresses there, and student production sets and shit, and there's not that here, you know. But yeah, I've always wanted to make movies, but I feel like that's definitely a way later life.
Down the line.
Like, I ain't really like focus on that at all right now.
Yeah. Now what you like? You said some shit that really stuck with me the other day when we were talking about this. Bro was like, he wants his art pretty much like, you know what I'm saying, affect people's lives, and he's like, he feels like movies kind of do that better than like a music video. We were talking about, he was like, what's the last music video that really like changed your life, saying, like seeing it, you know what I'm saying?
I was just saying like as an artistic person, like, or as anybody that's like a creative, like, it's like, obviously you don't want to obviously you have a reason to make something, you know what I mean? And like, you want to make something that affects things and not something that just like goes out there and it just exists and doesn't really do anything. You know what I mean? I feel like music videos are really just a product at the end of the day. Like,
versus what? Like, what is the other thing? It's not a product.
Like the way I said it when I said it to you was just like, a music video has never really changed my life aside from like making me want to make music videos type shit. Like, but movies have been impacted my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like movies.
Well, like, what about the song that is connected to the music video?
That's what we were saying. Like, it's really the song. That's not really the video.
Exactly.
Like,
That's what we were saying. Like, at the end of the day, whenever you look back on it, it's gonna be the song that impacted you and not the video. That's why videos they're just a product to promote the song.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Which there's nothing wrong with that.
It's
I'm not saying I don't like making music videos, and I'm not saying that music videos aren't art or anything.
It's still it adds so much though. Like if you you hear a song and then like you watch the video to it, like it'll bring it like, or you can hear a song alone, but once you watch the music video to it, then you love that song because you can like see what the vibe was in your head, you know?
Yeah, but me, it's like
true.
I was telling bro, like I don't. My bad, fucking cut y'all off, but I don't really go back and watch it. Even if I see a fire ass video, I'm like rarely going back to watch that shit. I'll listen to the song back much times.
That's what I was saying. Is like, I feel like the reason that I am confident in the fact that like nobody's been affected like by a music video that like enough to impact their life is like, I like music videos more than like anybody I've met in my entire life. Like I watch music videos all the time. Like I grew up just watching music videos, like Michael Jackson music videos, like really early on. Those were like the first ones I started watching. Like Smooth Criminal. That's one of my favorite videos ever. But
fire.
Bro, I just seen Thriller for the first time like 3 years ago.
Thriller's crazy.
I was like, what the fuck?
Crazy.
They're making now. That was like a movie.
Watch all that
shit.
shit.
Was like a movie.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I watched music videos that much and it didn't like impact me on a level that I'm looking for to impact other people with my stuff, then it's probably not done it for anybody else. You know what I mean?
But do you think it could be, since you're so connected to this, like creating the videos? It's like, well, I mean, I don't know, because I can still enjoy a song. I was gonna say like, because you're like creating videos, so like you're looking at each little thing. It's like if you make music, like you're listening to listening to it super hard. So sometimes you might have to, like, if you're making your own music, it's kind of hard to listen to it as like a listener that's never heard it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was thinking, like, you think that affects it, but
That's probably true.
Probably
I definitely like by the time a music video of mine releases, like I'm probably not gonna watch it more than one time because I'm like I've seen this.
That's
seen
exactly
a million times while I was doing it.
that's how I feel about the podcast too. But it is crazy too, because every podcast I do, I pretty much forget what I say. Like, okay, this is episode 83. Like, literally, I don't know what the fuck I be saying on these shits. Like, I just be like there, and then like I'll go back down the line, I might peep some shit like, I really said that, or I don't know.
It's just in the moment, like when it's just like back and forth like this, like it's just kind of like what's coming off the top of your head. So that way, like, I feel like it gives a way more like genuine representation of a person, because like you don't really have time to prepare, because it's not like we were like, okay, what are we gonna sit down and talk about?
Yeah.
Like
we asked him what we were gonna talk about.
I didn't even say shit. He didn't
give us a single answer.
You know what I'm actually known for on my podcast? I'm known for not letting the guests know when we start. Every time somebody's like, yo, we start already? I'm like, yeah, we rolling this shit. Yeah, so it just like brings it in with the genuine.
I think there's gonna be like 5 minutes at the beginning of this.
Of what?
No, it will start.
Yeah.
No, we'll start at the right spot. It might be like a few minutes before, you know. You can get it right.
That's funny.
Yeah, man. I got hella long layover. I got a fucking 10-hour layover tomorrow. I'm probably gonna edit this at the airport in the smoking room. I'm gonna bring a joint in there too. I'm gonna bring a joint in because they have a smoking room in LAX.
You cannot smoke a joint in the smoking room.
That's what I'm gonna ask. I'm like, yo, can you smoke CBD in here? And if they say something, if they say yeah, I'm like,
I think they're gonna say
CBD.
no.
Hey, that'd be sick. I mean, if they let you, like, that'd be sick. But
you should definitely try.
I'm gonna try.
Yeah. No, that's
shout out to you, bro, for last night, for helping us get the video too. You know what I'm saying? Bro was the Uber driver. He was the Uber driver for 10 minutes last night. I was like, bro, how long you been driving Uber? Yeah, we met some funny Uber drivers today. I don't know if you've seen what I posted on Instagram. Shout out to D, man, our Uber driver from earlier that got us on.
Yeah,
I got in the car. I was like, yo, who you picking up? Whatever. He was like, he couldn't even say my name. He couldn't pronounce it.
Was that the video you posted earlier?
That's a real thing, though. I seen the meme. It was like, you want to ask your fucking Uber driver who they're picking up, because it could be some, you know what I'm saying?
I always do.
Yeah.
And then they're always like, no, what's your name? And I'm like, well, tell me my name and I'll tell you, and then I'll tell you your name or whatever.
Let's
like,
just tell each other's names.
Yeah, because like if I'm like, hey, what's my name? And they're like, what's your name? And I tell them, then like I have nothing to go off anymore. Like then like they could just tell me whatever they want. Yeah. I don't know. That it always trips me out. Be careful out there, kids.
Yeah, man. I'm vaping on this episode. And for the listeners, I'm usually smoking cigarettes, but we vaping. It's the Portland edition. Vapes and Rebels. I feel like I found out some new like content since I've been here these few days. Bro done put me on to this shit called Channel 5. This like funny ass news shit. We got hip to, what was that podcast called? Podcast But Outside. That's fire. You seen that? Mm-mm. It's pretty dope. These fucking
interesting.
Yeah, these two dudes just like post up outside different spots and just talk to random people as they walk by. It's pretty cool.
It's picky choosy.
It's what?
Picky choosy.
Like some of them are cool, some of them.
Oh yeah. It depends on who the guest is up there.
Definitely.
Have you ever seen Hivemind before the podcast?
Mm-mm.
It's like a podcast / like game show, like based around like rap content, and like one of their like biggest ones is like guess the rapper off the cartoon, and like one of the dudes that is on it is a graphic designer, so he'll like draw up like a cartoon puns, that's what it's called. And so like he'll draw up a cartoon and it'll be like a baby like sitting there with a binky or whatever, and like it's like, oh, Lil Baby, like that's who it's like representing.
Does the baby look like Lil Baby?
Yeah, it looks like a little baby.
Oh,
like,
right.
and so you have to say,
okay.
like, you have to guess, like, oh, the rapper you're referencing is Lil Baby, or like whatever.
Who else could you even do other than Lil Baby? Like, how else would you?
Like Young Thug, you would draw like just like a little dude like wearing a chain with a gun or something like that, like a little kid, and so it'd be like a Young Thug. Or
how would you do Jay-Z though?
He'll like do ones that are like, if it's like a name that's built up, like, so like for the J part of it, like he'd do like a blue jay or something like that. And so it'd be like J, and then like for Z, like it'd be like XY blank or something like that, you know? But that's a pretty cool podcast. That shit's pretty sick.
Yeah, I fuck with bro. Really, my favorite podcasts are Joe Rogan. I think I'm gonna keep watching that outside shit. I fuck with that now. $1 Million with the Game is hard too. I don't know if y'all seen that.
I haven't seen that one.
It's this dude Gilly the Kid and Wallow. I know Wallow.
I think I have seen a couple episodes of that before.
Yeah.
Just like some people that I was interested in hearing what they had to say were on it. So I think I watched that. That's the one. It's like sponsored by Ciroc or some shit like that, right? They're always sipping on there.
Oh, you might be talking about Drink Champs.
I am.
That's fire too.
Drink
I don't even know how
Champs
they
is
named
fire.
that. You seen that?
Yeah.
Bro, that's that shit. Kanye just went up there and was spazzing on it.
As he does.
Yeah, man. Who y'all fucking with? Who y'all fucking with, like, as far as music right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, industry people.
Fuck with my favorite artist right now is probably Kaido. Shout out Kaido.
That kid's crazy, bro.
Right.
I couldn't believe how young he was when I found out. Like, cause his music is so like deep too. Like I don't know. It's not just like some like random ass lyrics. Like he's like kind of like saying some shit in it, and his melodies are just insane.
How old is he?
I don't know, like fucking like 16, 17 or some shit.
Something like that.
He's young.
He's
I don't know.
definitely young. That's all we know.
Is he from out here or is he from?
I have no idea where he's from.
Oh,
I
was
found
he
him
like-
on SoundCloud.
was he like anonymous?
Like a few months ago.
Okay.
And then I like followed him on Instagram, but I don't think there's like any pictures of himself or anything. But it's just like all the kids of like that hyper pop industry. It's like most of them are like really young, and I feel like the ones that are really young don't be posting pictures. So I feel like he's probably pretty young.
Yeah.
Is it like
And
on some
Diego-
anonymous shit though, or like?
I think homie Diego said he talked to him and said he seemed pretty young too.
Yeah.
I guess they were like talking about working on some shit or something. They had the homie Diego fucking Too Hard to Reach or Hard to Reach.
Yeah, shout out to bro for letting us use his grinder. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think SoundCloud rap's making a comeback. Like, or just like blowing up on SoundCloud.
I think it's always kind of gonna be like a thing to like for people to establish themselves in the underground. Like there's always gonna be people that fuck with SoundCloud, and like I feel like even now, like so many people will kind of start out on there for like start putting their first things out on there because like they don't own the beats and shit. So like they're just gonna put it out on SoundCloud because it's free and they can do that. And then like eventually you move to Apple Music and Spotify and whatever, all the DSPs. But I feel like it's a great thing to start out with because like that's what I started putting music out on. Like I had like. Until I was out on tour, like, I didn't even know, like, I always thought that you had to go to, like, some big studio to record. Like, I thought that you would have to go, like, rent out a nice-ass place downtown or some shit. And then, like, on the bus, like, people in the band were just, like, they'd set up their laptop and a little mic in their interface and, like, plug in their guitar and whatever, and they were, like, writing, like, rough drafts to songs and shit, like, on the bus. And I was like, what is all this? Like, they're like, oh, this is the studio. I was like, what do you mean this is the studio? This is just, like, some equipment sitting there. And then, like, so as soon as I got home, I just, like, I went and got a laptop and bought, like, one of the, like, blue Yeti mics, like, the, like, big, like, pill-looking ones. Yeah, and I just, like, I downloaded FL, and I just, like, started trying to record on there. And then, like, the first shit I ever put out was on SoundCloud. Like, I recorded for, like, a year, and I stacked up 7 songs because, like, I was going by 777. And so, like, I put out 7 songs on 7/7, like, the day of the month. And, like, that was, like, my whole thing at the time. But, like, that was just, like, I put out that EP on SoundCloud. And, like, that was, like, because if I had to put it on Apple Music and stuff, I probably wouldn't have been able to figure it out at the time. Like, it would, like, I feel like that's just such a good starting point for people.
Yeah, and you couldn't even just really just drop on all platforms like that back in the day.
Yeah,
that's kind of, I think that's within the last, like, 3-4 years, bro.
Yeah.
With, like, DistroKid and TuneCore and all this shit.
I mean,
you couldn't even really get everywhere like that.
Yeah, when I first started putting out music, like, it was definitely a thing, because, like, the first shit that I ever dropped was, like, 3 years ago, probably. And, yeah, like, that, it was definitely available, but, like, I didn't own the beats or anything, so I couldn't put it on the DSPs like that. And so that's why I feel like it's such, like, a good tool for people.
Yeah, on DSPs too, bro. I just fucking, I think I just posted this shit. Forbes had posted, like, a tweet talking about basically how much, like, the DSPs make and how much the artists actually get. And I think it was, like, artists collectively only got, like, 30% of the profits that, like, all these DSPs are making.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't agree with that, but it's like I don't know. It's like I feel like it needs to be a new system.
Have you seen the cancel Spotify movement? Just saw it the other day. It's like
because of that.
Apparently the owner, like, invests a bunch of the money into, like, weapons development or something, like
for the
weapons
military?
research and shit.
What?
For the military?
Yeah.
That's probably a smart investment. He's probably gonna get hella bread back on that, but
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know if that's a good reason to cancel them because that's what our government is doing. Like we're paying taxes for them to do weapons research.
All I'm saying is I didn't uninstall Spotify.
Yeah,
And I still have a membership.
I still use it, man. I used to pay for Tidal, bro, and Tidal is who pays, like, artists the most. But like I was telling y'all the other day, fucking, that's why I really fuck with Spotify, because you, on your recent searches, you can have like 20, 30 up there.
I feel like they probably definitely don't pay their artists enough, but I don't think any DSP probably does.
What that boy Jay-Z said, he said something, YouTube is the biggest culprit. They pay you 1/10 of what you're supposed to get. Some shit like that. Yeah, man. Now, artists, I feel like in the future, artists are really going to be running the show more as far as, like, it's like the DSPs they're going to be hitting us for deals and hitting us for permission. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't be like that.
Seems like independent artists and independent labels are becoming more popular.
Yeah. It's just going to become more about, like, people building, like, a genuine fan base rather than just, like, labels, like, pushing money into people and making them the popular person. Like, because it, like, if you build a cult fan base, like, around your shit, like, that's how you're going to make the most money, because you're getting 100% of everything. And, like, those people, if you make merch, those people are going to go buy that shit and whatever. Like, rather than like it'd be way better to have like 100 super loyal people than like 1,000 people that don't really fuck with you that much, you know? Like that's why like whenever I'm talking to like anybody who fucks with my music or anything, like I'm like, bro, where are you from? Like what's good? Like that, like I like, cause if they're fucking with me, I fuck with them for fucking with me, you know? Like and I feel like it just like if you're genuine with people, they're gonna feel that. And like I feel like we were talking about that yesterday, like the like people just kind of saying random bullshit and like put like just like trying to make what's popular isn't really gonna fly anymore, because I feel like people can kind of tell like when it's genuine or not now.
Yeah, I think you were saying that right. Like it's kind of if somebody comes out sounding just like somebody else, it's like maybe like 2-3 years ago it would have popped off easier, but now it's
might
like
have like a little wave, but it doesn't like last.
Yeah,
because you're never gonna be like that. Like if you're trying to be like this person, you're never going to be as big as that person. That's why if you just try and do your own shit, you're gonna get there's no like height to that, because you're not capped off at a certain limit. If you're like, bro, I'm trying to sound just like Young Thug, like you can only be a step down from Young Thug, because that's like your goal.
That's your limit.
Yeah. But if you're like, bro, I'm trying to be the best like Evan Lee that I could possibly be, like there's no limit to that, because there hasn't been one of those before. Like what, or like like if you're trying to like what, like Carver like making his videos, like if he just goes and like copies what somebody else does in a video, like yeah, like people will be like, oh shit, that looks just like a Cole Bennett video, but then it's not like, but then it's you're wannabe Cole Bennett, like like you want to make your own style of shit, so that people are like, oh shit, that looks like a Carver video when people are doing that shit.
Nah, originality is coming back, man.
The Cole Bennett thing a lot.
You get that a lot?
All the time. I think it's just because he's the most popular, and I think that's just what people think of when they're trying to come up with a compliment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like if someone were to compliment, I don't know.
People
I don't
always
know what a good comparison is, but
people always try and compare, like whatever.
exactly.
If they try and like connect something familiar to it. So if they think it's sick, they're like, oh, this reminds me of this other thing because I thought it was sick too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, originality is definitely key, man, I think. And I was actually watching Cole Bennett's, I think on Vice, his little documentary. Now I'm inspired by bro too. Really just a vision. Like you can see he really had this vision for this shit. And it's like, I'm really inspired by anybody that has that and they can bring it to fruition. I know he was talking about his mom like came up with the fucking name, Lyrical Lemonade. I was like, that's fire.
Yeah, no, like it's just so cool to see when people like have an idea for something and they just like make the moves to do it, because like it's so easy to talk about wanting to do shit, like, and like I'm bad about it too. Like I'll have all these ideas where like, oh, I need to do this show, I need to do this pop-up, like I'm gonna rent out this venue and whatever, and it like, and it'll just be talk like until like, bro, you need to make those calls and like you need to do this, like, or like before I started my brand, like I was like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna go buy a sewing machine, and they're like, whatever, like it's just like you gotta actually make the moves, and if you're actually making moves, that shit's going to fucking happen. Like
I feel like the progression is like the most important thing, like for it to be like lasting and like build up and become something bigger. I'm good on that. There has to be like more progression, because you know,
I feel like the hardest thing sometimes too is just getting started with this shit, with anything. Like you could just overthink it, and it's like you might want to
get going. I think
it's like you overthink it because you want it to be perfect, like from day one, but that's impossible. It's never gonna be perfect from day one. Yeah. So the whole thing is just to fucking start doing some shit, and you get better with time, and really it gets bigger.
Take your time.
Yeah, take your time with it.
Like, there's no rush.
Yeah, and I was gonna ask you too, bro. On I know you were telling me like you kind of started shooting your own like promo videos like for your brand. Like I was asking what thoughts on just like what's the process behind like figuring out the aesthetic of your brand? Because I feel like a lot of these brands have like, you know what I mean, just like the type of commercial you want to have or type of ad, like the aesthetic of it, like, you know what I'm saying?
I just try and like make it as like all the clothes that I make, I try and make shit that I want to wear. like when I'm making the clothes, like I make it like with myself in mind, like damn, like I would love to rock this. And so like with like the videos and like the like styling like of the videos, I try to like just like capture like what I feel like if somebody sees it and they meet me, like I want that to match up. Like I want it to be like genuine to like what like my interests and like what my like daily day would look like. Cause like the like first like promo video, like I shot it on, or like my girlfriend had this like Polaroid little like camcorder, like it was like a 2003 camcorder, and like I found it and I was just like taking little videos and I was like, damn, this footage looks sick. Like it's all like grainy, and so like I came up with the idea for this shoot. Like I just got like 10 homies and like and just put everybody in my clothes, and we just went and like walked through the streets and just like got like photos and videos like from like the same angles off that little camera or the little camcorder, and then like regular like photography camera. And then my homie Uli and my girlfriend Lindsay like shot it, and then I was just kind of like directing it, and then I sent everything over to Carver, and then Carver edited it all up into like a promo video for me. Yeah. And that shit turned out sick. That was like, and what like one of the main things that I got from it was just people were like, bro, like when I see this, like I can tell like that's your vibe, like, and that's like the biggest compliment that I could get, like if it just seems like genuine to me. But and then everything else since then, I've just like I downloaded Premiere on my computer and like whatever, like because like I was like I make all my designs and everything on Photoshop, so I already had like the whole Adobe suite. So I just like I was like I already have Premiere, like I might as well put it to use. And like because it's hard to put money into that like constantly. Like I'm doing like a drop every couple weeks, so it's like I like putting like a couple $100 into every single drop when I have 10 people modeling it and I'm getting a promo video and I have to buy all the blanks and like whatever, it like adds up. So like I was just like, damn, like how can I like consistently do shit like without like spending all of my budget on it, like, and like to where I'm still profitable. And so like I'll just like think of things that I can shoot simply and like edit simply, because like I'm not hella good. I just like started doing it like a month ago or whatever, like, or even like 3 weeks ago is when I got Premiere, and I just like started fucking with it, like just watching YouTube videos and like hitting up Carver for tips whenever I need shit. But yeah.
You always use Premiere, or we're using what else?
Yeah, I've always used Premiere and After Effects.
What's that other shit? I think Sony Vegas or something like that.
Yeah, I never used Sony Vegas.
Yeah, I fuck with Premiere.
Is that where you edit your podcast on?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The first one I edited, it like literally took me like 10 hours to edit, bro. Cause I didn't, you know about the multicam sequences?
Yeah.
On Premiere? Yeah. So I didn't know about that at first. So I basically had to go in, I had like I have 3 cameras, so I had 3 clips that were all like an hour long. So I literally had to go in there. Each cut, you know what I'm saying, manually cut with the little fucking, the cut shit, and dragged all the, you know what I'm saying? That's took me so long.
That's what I've been doing.
Oh, but you have different, I'm gonna show you. We got to put you on a multicam. Yeah, basically, you put it all, you set it all up, and it's the joint where you can like, it shows you all your angles, like on the left. It shows you like all your camera angles. On the right, it's your main screen, and then you just press play, and literally with the tap of one button, you switch between angles like live, how you want it to actually switch.
That's sick.
And then when you finish, when you play it back, it'll switch on the time as you know what I'm saying, wanted
That's
to.
sick. Yeah, no, you got fucking 3 cameras set up in here. That shit's sick, bro. You got a whole ass like professional setup. It's dope. It's funny, like when
it's really not. I mean, honestly, this is all like bare minimum equipment, but we got everything we need.
It's good, bro. It looks good. It like, and when like initially like Carver was just like, yo, the homie Samir's like coming over here, like come link up. And so like, and then once you were talking about the podcast, like usually like when people like are like say they like have a podcast or whatever, they're like they have like 2 episodes or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And like once you were like, oh yeah, this is like the 84th episode, I was like, fuck yeah, bro, like that's fucking sick. Right. Like it's sick that like you just like are staying consistent with it like that, because that's a lot of editing and shit, like and to constantly have like new people to talk to and like constantly have like new subjects to talk about. That's a lot of work.
Bro, believe it or not, bro, I done fell into a rhythm with this shit. It's like I don't even think about it at this point. It's like muscle memory.
How often do you do them?
Once a week. So I shoot on Tuesdays, edit on, I'll probably edit it either on Wednesday or Thursday, post on Friday, make all the promos, post them and shit. So it's like a 3-day event. 3 days out the week I'm doing, not like, I'm not all day, like, you know what I'm saying, but 3 days of the week I have
And you've been doing it every week since you started?
Pretty much. It's been weeks I did like 2 episodes. I think there was 1 week where I might have did 3 episodes. But yeah, at least once a week. I don't have one the week I come back. I'm gonna just chill out. I was telling you, like, bro, when I take flights, like that shit really just it kills me, bro. It doesn't kill me, but it's
when
like
there's like a lot of layovers.
Yeah, the layovers fuck me up. Even when there's not a layover, it's something about just like being up there. You know, they say that fucking on planes, like it's like the worst air quality. Like
It's all recycled air.
Yeah, recycled air. They also say never drink coffee or tea off a plane.
Yeah.
Because of the water they use for it. I guess they like never change that water or like clean it.
Water off the plane either?
Well, that's bottled water. I'm talking about
from the toilet.
It might though. It might though.
Or does it drop off into the ground?
The what? The toilet shit? That'd be crazy.
Do you think? Have you ever heard that? Like
I
when you
think
flush
that's
the
actually
toilet,
what
that it
happens,
shoots out the
right?
bottom. Could you imagine?
Oh
you're
hell
like,
no, that doesn't happen.
No.
You're like,
Hell
like
no.
swimming in your pool in the backyard.
thought that
and just
actually
a
happened.
shit
Are you
serious?
Flies
Yeah.
down.
No.
It's just
That's
like
a lawsuit waiting to happen right there.
No, like I just figured like by the time it's to the ground,
like,
it's like
dissipates?
disintegrated. Yeah.
Oh hell no.
it freezes by the time it hits the ground. It
That'd
turns
be
into
some
a
shit.
cloud.
Literally. Now I was actually talking. I was talking to something like a couple of the flight attendants. I was on that one flight. It was cool. Shorty was talking about she was about to get drunk when she like that night. I was like, they were like young. I was like, yeah. I was like, y'all lit. Yeah.
That's fire.
Y'all weed is a little different out here, man. I will say that. I copped the lowest price shit in the store and shit is gas.
Still snacks.
Let's go.
What
It's
like
not bad.
where you're at? Like, is it harder to get weed over there? Like, cause there's no dispensaries there, right?
There's no dispensary, but it's not hard. Like everybody knows
Just,
somebody.
You know somebody, but like, or like, is it like way overpriced?
Nah, it's lower price than like in places where it's legal.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's just not as good weed, or what?
No, you can get gas too. You can get gas, but it's not like in the places where it's legal. You can definitely get better stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But y'all just the dispensary just have tax.
Yeah.
That's why like that's like a friend of mine told me basically was like in places where it's legal, he was like the black market flourishes because everybody still wants cheaper prices. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
no,
saying?
I still would like rather get it from just a homie than going to the dispensary for
Yeah.
sure.
You supporting the homie, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Fuck it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you didn't really get to. So you finished this tour up. Y'all went on a bunch of dates for 3 months. So
Yeah.
how did you end up fucking coming to Portland?
So like after the tour, I was planning on moving to Spokane, like which is in Washington also. Like I was gonna like go straight from like the last date was in LA, and so I was just gonna fly straight from LA, like go pick up my shit and go to Spokane, and then like a week before the tour ended, like it just like it fell through with me moving to Spokane, and so I went back to the Tri-Cities for like a couple months, or like that was the plan, and then like once I got there, then I ended up like signing a lease for a year over there with some homies, and just like and that was like so when I first got back to the Tri-Cities, that was like when I got like all my music equipment and shit, and I was like recording like in my car outside my dad's house, like because he would get
That's
pissed
fire.
because he worked nights, so like during the day I'd be in there trying to record, and he'd be like, I'm trying to sleep, like you can't be doing this. So I'd be like out in my car all day recording, and then like he'd leave for work and I'd go inside and start recording.
Yeah.
And then like that was when I was 18, and then like I moved out like when I was like 18 or 19, and I got an apartment with some homies, and that was when like I first started like putting out like hella music. Like I put out that first EP I think when I was still at my dad's house, and then like once I moved over there, then I was just like putting out singles all the time, and then like that was when like I put out one song And it was just like a random song that I made, and then that shit just like started like going up. Like the first like right when I first posted it, like the first week it only had like 500 plays or some shit.
It's on SoundCloud.
Yeah. And then like a couple days later, like it was like up to like 2,000 or whatever. And at the time, like I was like, oh, sick, like that's cool. And then like the next day it was at like 5,000, and then like it just kept going up. And then so that shit like definitely like motivated me even more to like, because I was like, damn, people are fucking with this. And then like eventually like now that shit's at like 150 or some shit like that, 150,000. And like that shit just like pushed me to like record more. I was like, damn, people are actually like fucking with this, so like I gotta keep going with it. And so then after that lease was up, my girlfriend, she like was trying to go to college somewhere, and like I was actually born in Vancouver, right here next to Portland.
Vancouver.
But it's right on
Canada.
So there's Vancouver, Canada,
okay.
but there's also Vancouver, Washington. Like, cause like Portland's right on the border between Washington and Oregon, and so Vancouver is just right on the other side of the river from here, like 10 minutes that way. And so I would like I grew up kind of coming over here. So then like once like I was like, I'm trying to go to a city, and my girl, like, she was trying to go to a city for school, so like we moved over here. And then like 2 years ago, and then since being here, like I've just been recording. Like I put out my EP like last year, and then like that was when like I started working with my manager and shit, and like I haven't put anything out since then, just because we're just kind of like rebranding, kind of like all like the stuff that I was putting out before, like I like everything is like was mixed and recorded by me, and so like it just wasn't like up to par with like what I'm doing now. And so like I haven't put out anything in like a year, and then like in the next like 2 months hopefully we're gonna start putting shit out again. But yeah, so then I just been here like working on clothes and music and shit.
You feel like it's harder to like reach new people with the clothes or with the music?
It's so like I started with the clothes like as like a way, like I was already making my own shit. Like I was just like, this I made just completely for myself. This was before I planned on having a brand or anything. Like,
I guess I'm saying like you think it would be easier to sell somebody like a piece or or a tape.
Yeah,
you know
so
what I'm saying?
Like that's what I mean. So like I lost my train of thought.
My fault.
No, well, so I started the clothing as like a way to reach new people, like, cause like whether the like people find me because of the clothing or they find me from my music, they're still finding me, and so they're gonna see both of them either way. I was already making the shit for myself, so like I might as well put it out there for other people to see, and like that. And so I feel like it is easier to like sell a piece of clothing because it's a like physical piece of something, like, or to get people like more interested in it, just because I feel like so many people make music now that like now it's like you meet somebody, and if you were to come up and be like, oh yeah bro, I'm a rapper, or like whatever, like it's corny. Like even I don't even rap anyway, like I wouldn't call my music rap, but like I just feel like that's way more corny than being like, oh yeah, like I make clothes or whatever. And like I feel like people are way more likely to fuck with you, like, because I feel like there's just a weird stigma around like music artists.
I get it. Now I feel like the fashion world is probably even fucking harder to break into than the music world. You know what I'm saying? But just on some movie shit, I was gonna ask you too, like top favorite movies, like I don't know, like 3.
This question's really hard to answer.
Yeah. Just off the shit you've been playing, I feel like we have kind of like a similar taste in that type of shit.
So like entertainment wise, like the movie that I probably watched the most out of just like, all right, what can I watch just to watch right now? Probably Scott Pilgrim.
Scott
Just because it's light and it's shot really well. Like the way it's, I really like the way it's shot. Like the action sequences are crazy.
Did you ever go back and watch that
But-
shit I told you? I'm about to cut you off. The one that was shot all in one scene?
No,
You gotta watch that.
but fuck. Cinematic wise, like as in like best shot, I think Moonlight is really good. The color grading is crazy. The writing is really good. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Have you ever seen Interstellar?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, shit's fire.
Do you fuck with that movie?
Yeah, I fuck with it.
That shit's crazy.
Good movie.
I just love the like how like at the end of it, like when he's in the bookcase and it's like,
Nah, I was sad as shit, for real.
yeah, it was, but it was just crazy because it was like such a good depiction of like how like the concept of like different dimensions and like how like different things are like happening on a timeline and shit.
And how they're interwoven.
Yeah, like and like how like he was the one, he was like in not even in the future. I guess it was in the future, but like he was in this like realm or whatever, and he was the one that was affecting the past and like a couple years later down the line, all in this time span of him running around in that like bookcase floating area. But like that shit was just crazy. That blew my mind. I just remember the first time I watched it, I was up at my homie Wyatt's cabin, and like on the way up there, we all ate like hella edibles. And like we were just like sitting up there at the cabin watching Interstellar, and like I was just like so big, like it's probably like 17 years old, just like sitting there staring at the screen, just like that shit was blowing my mind. That's probably why I love the movie.
I think I might have even seen that in the theaters. But now the crazy part about that movie, the part that's actually a fact, is how time moves different. Like how fast, depending on how fast you
Yeah.
go. You know how they went down to that planet or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you really like went on a spaceship and went like, what is it, like the speed of light, and we're gone for like a year, it'd be like a hella long time will pass by.
How do they test that?
What do
How
you mean?
like I don't. How the fuck do they
That's a
know
good point.
that time is passing by faster in another place?
It's a good point. I need to look
Like
that
the
up.
writers of the movie?
No,
No,
the
that's-
scientists.
No, that was real. That's like supposedly real.
Oh.
Like in real life.
Oh.
But that's a good question. I don't fucking know. I might
Like,
look that
how
up.
do you test that time is moving faster?
Probably like they test everything else. Like a lot of this shit, they're not really like, okay, like when they checking the distance of planets and shit, like they're not really going there. It's like they have equations of like certain shit, and then they'll like extrapolate that to like, I don't fucking know how it works, but
I mean,
it's all like
It's
mathematics.
extrapolated.
But it made sense though, right?
Right.
I feel like that shit made sense in that,
So
in that right there.
time is really just related to how fast the Earth rotates, right?
Time?
Yeah,
I don't know. That's a good-
'cause-
Well, yeah, I
thought
guess
that's
it's based on the
gravity.
days and shit, night and day and shit.
Because that's what makes you stick to the earth, because it's spinning.
Gravity?
Well, yeah, but I know that.
You know, we moving
But I
like
mean,
1,000
like-
miles an hour right now.
What I mean is like, okay, it's noon when the sun is in the middle of the sky.
Something like
Midnight
that.
when it's in the bottom.
So,
whatever,
like,
when we
you're
can't
sa-
see it or whatever.
You're saying that they base the time off the
Like-
cycle?
Like
Night and day.
that's what time was made off of, right? Like in the ancient times, they followed that shit, and we kind of just kept going with it. So isn't time still just based off the revelations of the
Yes,
Earth?
I could see.
So if they were to estimate it, it would be an estimate of, like, if the Earth is speeding up really slow, like really slowly.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. Also, but like in the movie, it was like they went over there and like it went from like day to night super fast or whatever, or the days lasted however long, and
Yeah, so
but
the
it was
Earth
like
would be spinning faster.
Ah,
right?
nah, I
but
get
it
what
was
you're saying.
but
I
it was
get
like
what you're saying.
50 years on Earth or whatever. Like everyone when they got back was like 50 years old. So like I just don't understand like how like the like that would change. Like
Yeah, I
how
don't
are you
fucking know.
aging slower when you're in a different place?
No idea.
I might have to actually look that up. No bullshit.
We need the like on the Joe Rogan show, like where there's the dude behind the
Why does
camera.
time move
What's his name? Julian or some shit?
slower?
Michael, look it up.
Michael.
That's a really good question. This is the
Jamie.
All For It podcast.
That's his name. I said Julian.
You talking about on Joe Rogan shit?
Yeah.
Shout out to Jamie, man. I like. All right, it says, as light is spread out by the observer moving away from the source of the light, time is decreased. The faster the observer moves, the more light is spread out and time slows down. Time slows down as you travel faster because momentum bends the fabric of space-time, causing time to pass slower. I don't know what that shit means still, even though as I read it, like, either way, man, time is crazy.
Individually.
Once you said like,
Because I was trying to read it and understand it at the same time, but it was like, I'm going to just read it. Time slows down as you travel faster because momentum bends the fabric of space-time, causing...
The fabric of space-time.
momentum.
So, yeah, the spinning, like you were saying.
I think you had it right, bro.
I think at a very basic
Bro, you need to
level,
apply for NASA or some shit.
That'd be crazy. You could shoot the space videos.
Yo, you can shoot the promo videos for the space, what's it called? Space Force?
SpaceX?
No,
That'd be
we got a
crazy.
Space Force. We have like a space military.
Nah, not that.
You know what I'm
I
talking
don't
about?
want to be involved in the military.
Oh,
What
okay.
about SpaceX?
But SpaceX might be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be fire. You can make the uniforms. If you had the uniforms of SpaceX, bro, that's legendary.
I'm just not sure we need to weaponize space.
Yeah, that sounds
it
wild.
pretty much already is, right? Because there's satellites with missiles and
Lasers?
shit.
Oh.
I think laser. I think you're
Satellites
right.
can
They
drop
don't have
missiles, right?
lasers
Bro,
up there.
they probably do.
No way.
If satellites have missiles.
I believe
with
it.
missiles,
I think some of them
believe
do.
that. I believe that. I
Yeah.
don't think they have lasers.
So I guess it's already too late, but
Yeah, a lot of
it
this
just seems like I've seen so many movies that are like they put a base on
Military
the moon,
base.
and it all goes wrong, man.
Yeah, I
We don't
see
need
it.
wars in space.
Bro, everything, all fucking weapons are created because every country is like, yo, we need to create this shit before they create it, and then everything just gets made. It's like there's no like threat right now. It's all like for possible future threats.
Exactly.
So everybody just creating
so if
threats
we-
type shit. Like,
So if we put weapons there,
yeah,
threats.
no, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Yep.
We probably shouldn't have weaponized space.
We just gonna like not learn from ourselves. at
But I
all,
do feel
you
like
know?
we should probably have, like,
destroyed
some-
all this shit with wars.
Why can't
We're
everybody
gonna
just be
go
friends,
have
man?
wars on other planets.
Yeah. Now I was gonna say I do think we should have some type of like fucking weapon in space just to be able to shoot like a comet or something if it's coming our way, or like
That'd be cool.
some type of shit for that.
Whatever happened to the asteroid you told me was coming by?
They said it was gonna graze us.
When?
I think that was like next week, but it's like I think they said it was like 4 million miles away. But NASA considers something that's like within like 5 or some certain million miles away as like close. And then if it's within like I
What
think
did they
1
say?
million miles, it's like
Grazed?
potentially like hazardous.
Grazed is the word that scared me. Like when I think grazed, I think like it touches.
Maybe
You know what
it's
I
like
mean?
grazing the outer atmosphere or
Yeah,
something.
probably.
But nah, it is crazy how we're just in this fucking. I really do think about that, like how we're just flowing through space. It's like when you change you know how like you have a image of yourself in your mind of like your body and like awareness of your body and like yourself. It's like when you shift that to like a world perspective,
Yeah.
like a globe perspective, like yo, really like I'm on this earth and then just like we're just floating and shit. That's crazy, bro. I don't know. I think I'm high at
that's
this
crazy
point,
to
but
think about. It's kind of a waste of time though.
to think about that,
Yeah, doesn't help
It-
you with anything.
It doesn't really affect us.
I feel like it
Yeah.
inspires though. Like like back in the day before all this light pollution, they'll look up at
Kind
the
of
sky.
depressing though.
Not really.
about
I
it.
feel like it's inspiring.
It's like, oh, we're so small.
I don't know. That's cool to me. Or it's like they would look up in the sky and see all like the fucking universe. Like you ever seen from like Hawaii, the Milky Way? It just looks crazy. It just looks inspiring, bro. Like
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I
that
mean,
shit is. I
yeah,
think it's
stars
amazing
are
to
beautiful
look
and
at that
everything,
shit.
but
you think it's depressing though to think that we're
I think
so small.
if anything, it's depressing.
I think
Right?
it's just like it makes you feel like what you're doing doesn't really matter in the
Yeah.
long run of things
Yeah.
if you look at life that way. Like
I
if-
could see like it being super inspiring if you're an astronaut
yeah.
or like a person that builds spaceships and
Yeah.
stuff.
I always
got some good
try and
points.
like keep that outer that perspective like of like looking outside of just like through your own eyes. Like I actually like was like walking like down like Burnside today, and like when you're coming down like the hill up there, you can just kind of see like all of like downtown over there.
Yeah.
And I always try to like I feel like I never look at anything like when I'm walking around. I feel like I'm so like in my own head that I'm just kind of like on autopilot walking around. And every once in a while I try to like zoom out and like be like, okay, like I'm like downtown Portland right here, whatever. Cause like I always wanted to live here and shit. But like, so I try and keep like that, like, oh, like that I'm like actually right here. Like try like
the interest in that, the joy for that, or whatever.
Yeah, and like, but not being like, I'm just a small thing in this city, you know? Like, I don't know.
But we are though. We are small,
We
bro.
are.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
that's what it is. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's like,
Yeah,
I
it
just lately
seems like if you look at it in a more focused perspective, it's less sad.
Yeah.
It's more of a
If you're
it's
just
a good thing.
Yeah. If you're just focusing on like what you're doing every day.
Exactly.
lately, bro, I've really been just
People
thinking
around
more
you.
and more about like how small things can affect like shit in the long run. Like I'll just look at my life, certain decisions I made or things that I've done, how like what that turned out to be, or like, and then when you look at like history or you know what I'm saying, civilization as a whole, and just how even on like the movie we were just watching, like that Looper shit, it's just how fucking I don't know. Like shit should be connected. Shit is
Think
connected,
time
and I
travel.
feel like it's to me it's just like it's dope to like think like it's bigger than you. You know what you say?
You think they're gonna make time travel while we're alive?
I hope so.
You
That'd be
hope so?
fire. Would you have time travel?
I don't think so.
If you could time travel to one place and come back,
I'd do it
Just
after a few
where you
other
going?
people did it.
yeah. But I'm saying, let's say it's all cool and shit, but everybody gets one time. Everybody gets one go. Where would you go to?
Well, are you stuck there?
Nah, you can come back.
You saying what year?
Yeah.
I think that depends.
I'd go into the future.
Past that future. Okay.
Yeah, I'd go into the future.
Yeah, I'd probably go to if we can go to the future, I'd probably end up going to the future.
Or
So,
like if you could choose going to the future or past, which would you choose?
so it still depends. Yeah, I go to the future.
Yeah.
But on when in the future, it still depends because it's like, when was time travel invented? Is it 2070? Then maybe I'll go to 2100 or something. Like,
Bro, I'm going back to year
I don't know
one.
if I want to go too far. You know what I mean?
Well, I would want to go.
I don't want to end up going too far and getting there and everything's gone or something. You know?
I'm saying like if it can't, like if time travel came out tomorrow, and like it was like, okay, like, yeah, and you can choose either go to a time in like earlier in your life, or choose and like
I know. what you
give
mean.
yourself advice, or
Yeah.
go to a time later in life and see what you ended up doing. So
I
that
would-
way you could either like stay on that
Yeah.
path
I
or
don't
like
wanna see
change
that.
something.
That's what I was about to say. Like, if it was invented tomorrow, then I would go probably to like when I'm like 60 or something.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Man, I'm gonna say, look, take
Find
me
out
to the
what's
pyramids.
possible.
I want to see how these motherfuckers were made. That's where I'm going.
What motherfuckers?
The pyramids in Egypt.
Or you go to the pyramid.
I'm going to. I want to see how they were
There you
made.
go.
That's how we rocking. That's how we use my
I
one.
just-
You just refer to them as these motherfuckers. Like that we're gonna know that it's
No, I said pyramids first. I said pyramids.
Oh,
I said take me to the pyramids. I want to see how these motherfuckers are made.
That's what's most important to you?
Nah, not necessarily.
If
I
you
wouldn't go
got
to the
one-
future though.
You wouldn't?
I think I'll go to the past.
I fuck with going to the pyramids.
I'll either do that or I'll literally go back to like where the first human was, like
Only
to the
one
origins.
person has to do it though.
He'd probably try
So
to
if
eat
you do it, nobody else has to do it.
Bro, I'm coming right back. You can come back.
The
I'm gonna hit the
first
button.
human. Yeah, I
Come
guess.
right back. Y'all watch Rick and Morty?
Yeah,
That's my shit.
that shit's hilarious.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. We in Portland with it, man.
When you're making the videos, do you like go back through the conversation and like cut out like little gaps and whatever?
Never.
You just like leave everything in
It's
there.
all
Everything.
one run.
All one run.
That's what I thought.
I have took out like a couple things, or somebody's like, "Yo, I didn't want to say that." Like, it's been like one or two things I'll take out, but usually it's the whole thing. Even like the silences, I like that's natural too.
Yeah.
And if you're hanging out with somebody, you're not fucking talking every second of like, you know what I'm saying?
True.
Take a breath. Yeah, man.
I just keep thinking about myself losing my train of thought. I'm like, damn, that was stupid.
Hella.
No, that was my
Feel
fault.
that.
That was my fault on that one.
You don't have to. I don't care. Everybody does it. I don't give a fuck.
So you said you're going to New York, right? You said you're going to LA.
Yeah.
And you're going to New York.
I was just out in New York, but I do want to go to New York. Like, I'm going to be there eventually, but I'm going to LA first.
Yeah.
I'm moving to LA in like next like August or September.
Yeah. I thought about like doing the whole fucking like leaving where you're from and trying to go like to somewhere. I was gonna go to LA, but then I'm like, bro, you know what? I'm doing that shit where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? So like we building that shit up. Like in Virginia right now, like I don't know if y'all tapped in. I was showing bro like a few artists from my area. Like I really think like he was like, that's a big statement. I was like, the 757 is about to be like the new LA. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, I don't even want to say the new LA just because there's like a lot of weird shit in LA, but just the center of like, you know what I'm saying, where that shit is happening.
I think
You know what I'm saying?
Nashville's the new LA.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. Or going to be like not the new LA.
Or like
'cause
Austin?
LA is still always going to be LA. Like that shit. But like a lot of people from LA are moving to Nashville. Like people that have been there for a minute.
Yeah.
And like I feel like Nashville's kind of gonna become like the more like industry city, and like LA is just gonna be a bunch of like crazy rat people like
I always
like
thought of Nashville as like country music.
yeah the indie and like alternative scene is hella big out there.
Okay.
Like maybe not for like as much for like hip hop and trap and stuff, but like the like
We talking about from movies and shit too. Like you see, that's what
I
I
don't
mean.
know about movies. That is
Like-
one thing that is always going to be in LA though.
I don't know,
what
because you
I'm
know
saying.
Tyler Perry just made the fucking he made a whole movie studio, and I think it's in Atlanta. It's definitely not in LA, but I think it's in Atlanta. So it's
Huh.
like they really shooting like big budget
I don't doubt it.
blockbusters out of LA now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
My homie Dom, like he's over in Atlanta, I think, shooting something for some Netflix series, and like everything is shot in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And like he goes out to LA every once in a while, but that most of the time he's out there, I'm pretty sure.
Hell yeah. Man, I don't know. We about like an hour and 20 in. We can sign off with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all wanna like lead the people or anything?
I don't know. Inspiring words for the children.
Stay in school.
Get your money up. Get your knowledge. No, I'm just playing.
Nah.
Don't do drugs.
Just put fucking time into shit, bro.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
whatever you're trying to do, put time into it. 'Cause
Take your time.
That's the only way you're gonna be able to do anything. If you just think about it, it's never gonna happen. You can have all the
Yep.
dreams you want, but if you don't like make that shit happen, then like you don't make that shit happen. You gotta make moves.
Step by step.
Yeah,
It's
I write
steps.
everything down, bro. I have a little notepad, and for every single day, I write down like little bullet points of like, okay, like I just got this order. I need to fill this order. Oh, I need to find new beats. I need to finish this song, like whatever. And it's just like he was saying, like step by step, like just like get shit done.
Hell yeah. Do you wanna add anything, bro?
Same thing, pretty much. Take your time on things. And don't do drugs. That's the main thing. Don't do drugs.
I agree.
Aside from marijuana.
Yeah.
Drink. You can drink. Moderately.
Yeah. Oh yeah, bro is
Be fucking with pills.
I want to add this in. Bro is
Don't fuck with
allergic to
pills.
gluten, so if you ever see bro out and want to like grab him some shit, get him some gluten free shit.
Yeah,
man.
don't give me, you know.
Yeah. Nah, I feel that, man. I feel that. I want to say appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate you for the hospitality, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Anytime.
This whole time, you know what I'm saying? This has been
Of course.
I had a good trip. You know what I'm saying? It was a vibe. We ain't really,
Yeah.
I feel like we ain't see too much of the city, but you know what I'm saying? It was like a business trip, but we catching the
Oh,
vibe,
yeah.
man. Shout out to the Sandy Hut for holding us down. We will be
That's
back.
musty.
Now, what was that place called we went to today? Cadillac, I think.
Cadillac Cafe.
Yeah, Cadillac Cafe, man.
Pretty good breakfast food.
Recommend that. I recommend that.
That's
Yeah, man. Should we sign off for this shit?
Yeah, let's get it.
Yeah, we can sign off, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Once again, I appreciate y'all for tuning
Appreciate
in.
you.
Yeah, man. We're going to see y'all next week. I'll be back in the 757. Check out somebody from the 757, like I always say. And, yeah, peace.